Chapter 383, Aid the Fight. Do not be deceived by the outward appearance of Liu Jitong, for his heart was as dark as the night sky. To ascend to such a high position, one must possess a ruthless nature. It was he who ordered the execution of Lang Junkai, and then condemned the Lang family with false accusations, eradicating their finest warriors. The old men, women, and children were cast out of the extreme Yang city, exiled to the wilderness. His cruelty left the Lang family in ruins, their name almost forgotten in the sands of time. The rage of the old man, Liu Qiyuan, was justified, for his conflict with Ling Han was born from the machinations of Lang Junkai. Had the old man not intervened, the events of that day would have played out far differently. It was as if the hatred of a grandfather for a grandson was awakened, and Liu Qiyuan showed no mercy in his actions. In but a single day, the Lang family was completely eradicated from the city, a testament to the terrifying power of an Earth-grade alchemist. Ling Han too was an Earth-grade alchemist, and thus could wield the same authority as Liu Jitong. However, the shadow of the Thousand Corpse sect loomed over him, and so he chose to remain hidden, not revealing his true identity. Instead, he used Liu Jitong to secure his position, drawing him into his fold as an ally. With such a powerful figure at his side, Ling Han knew his tavern and medicine store would be safe from future troubles. His next destination was the Dark Demon Forest, but he had no intention of bringing anyone along. However, when Hu Nu learned of his plans, she threw a fit and insisted on joining him. Ling Han, knowing well her speed and determination, had no choice but to relent. Yet, before they could depart, an invitation arrived from the Spirit Treasures Pavilion, summoning him to a banquet. Ling Han immediately assumed the invitation was related to the auction of the bone-forming pill, a matter that concerned his profits. Without hesitation, he accepted, and Hu Nu, ever mischievous, insisted on accompanying him to the banquet. Arriving at the Spirit Treasures Pavilion, they were escorted to an elegant private courtyard, where a square table awaited them. Two women were already seated. One, dressed in all white with a veil covering her face, possessed skin as pale as snow, her hair flowing like a waterfall. Ling Han recognized her immediately. Zhu Xuaner, the second woman, around 21 or 22 years of age, wore a long skirt that accentuated her fiery curves. Her beauty was captivating, with lips as red as flames and a seductive air about her. As Ling Han approached, holding Hu Nu's hand, the red-clad woman stood and greeted him with a smile. "Young Master Ling, please," she said, her voice filled with warmth. Zhu Xuaner also rose, though she said nothing, merely acknowledging his presence with a silent gesture of respect. "This is Lady Yin, and this is Zhu Xuaner. Sister Zhu, meet Ling Han, the young master. Though he hides a more startling identity, he is an Earth-grade alchemist," the red-clothed beauty announced. Zhu Xuaner was stunned. Ling Han appeared not even 20 years old, yet he was an Earth-grade alchemist. Such a thing was unheard of. Most alchemists at that rank were elderly, their bodies weathered by time. Hu Nu, ever possessive, glared at Zhu Xuaner as if defending her territory. She climbed onto Ling Han's neck and made it clear that Ling Han was hers, ignoring Yin Lan completely, as if to say the red-clad woman posed no threat. Zhu Xuaner, ever calm, did not mind the little girl's antics. Yet the possessiveness of a child stirred something in her. The little girl's jealousy was palpable, and it made her feel somewhat uncomfortable. Yin Lan, ever confident in her charm, laughed loudly, the sound of it like music to the ears. She turned to Zhu Xuaner with a mischievous glint in her eye. "Sister Zhu," she said with a teasing tone, "it seems you have competition." Zhu Xuaner looked at Hu Nu again, her eyes widening in surprise. She found herself unable to read the little girl at all. However, realizing that Hu Nu lacked a spirit base, Zhu Xuaner dismissed the thought. There was no cultivation in her, so it was impossible for her to have any martial prowess. The mystery of the girl remained unsolved, but it was not worth pondering further. Ling Han, sensing the tension, took his seat, and Hu Nu settled onto his lap, still eyeing Zhu Xuaner with suspicion. The little girl seemed to see her as a rival, something Ling Han had never witnessed before. "Lady Yin, why did you invite me here?" Ling Han asked, breaking the silence. "First, let us drink and eat," Yin Lan replied with a smile. "Surely, you won't mind the company of two beauties like us?" Ling Han raised his wine cup, a small smile on his lips. Despite the allure of the women before him, his mind remained sharp, and he replied, "What position do you hold in the Spirit Treasures Pavilion?" "My father is Yin Shang, the pavilion master of the Spirit Treasures Pavilion in the North region," Yin Lan said casually, as though mentioning the name of a common merchant. Ling Han was taken aback. The Spirit Treasures Pavilion and the Alchemist Society were behemoths in the cultivation world. Even a mere branch in the North region wielded immense power, comparable to the authority of the sect leaders of places like the Winter Moon sect. To think that Yin Shang's daughter was so young was a surprising revelation. Yin Lan continued, "I have a favor to ask of you, young Master Ling." Ling Han chuckled softly, his curiosity piqued. "If you are the young mistress of the North region's Spirit Treasures Pavilion, what could you possibly need my help with?" Yin Lan sighed, her brow furrowing. "Every 5 years, the Spirit Treasures Pavilion holds a competition for alchemy, formations, and martial arts. Only those under 30 are eligible to participate. The goal is to identify worthy talents and appoint them as managers for the sub-branches. The North Region's branch has always ranked last in these competitions, but I believe there are prodigies here too. That is why I wish to invite you, young Master Ling, as our guest in the competition." Ling Han understood her intention immediately. She wanted him to represent the North region at the competition, to help them rise above their poor standing. The thought of traveling to the Middle State at the end of next year was appealing to him, for it would bring him closer to uncovering the secrets buried there, secrets that could change his fate. Ling Han turned to Zhu Xuan-er. "I will represent alchemy, and Lady Zhu will represent martial arts. But who will represent formations?" "That would be me," Yin Lan said proudly. Her chest puffed out with confidence, causing a ripple of surprise to echo through the room. Chapter 384, Provisos. Ling Han's heart was filled with astonishment as he gazed at Yin Hong. "Lady Yin is skilled in the art of formations?" he inquired, his tone laced with disbelief. In his past life, Ling Han had dabbled in formations, mainly to break through the defenses of ancient sites. However, his abilities in setting formations were weak. Formations were once a powerful discipline, rivaling martial arts and alchemy, with the masters of such arts holding esteemed positions in ancient times. In Ling Han's previous life, the art of alchemy was nearly eradicated, though formations still remained. "Ha! Do you look down upon me, thinking my only talent lies in flashing my charming winks?" Yin Hong teased, her voice carefree and unashamed. Such was her nature. Her alluring beauty was undeniable, but her personality was bold and unrestrained, for she spoke her thoughts freely, without the slightest concern for the consequences. Ling Han laughed heartily, enjoying the banter. "Lady Yin is truly interesting. I propose a toast," he said. Yin Hong's laughter rang out like a bell. "Hey, I do not succumb to intoxication, even after 1,000 bowls? If young Master Ling intends to use alcohol to plot some mischief, then you'll be sorely disappointed." She downed the bowl of wine with surprising boldness. Ling Han raised an eyebrow, feeling a strange unease. This woman was so forthright, with no regard for the effect her actions might have on others. Young Master Ling is already an Earth-grade alchemist at such a young age. Not a soul can rival him in the Middle State. We are guaranteed at least 30 points in alchemy, Yin Hong continued with a serious expression. Sister Zhu's strength may not be the greatest in the Middle State, but we still have 6 months to go. I will fully assist her in reaching at least the 9th layer of the spiritual pedestal tier. If she manages to break through to the flower blossom tier, all the better. That would ensure we obtain 30 points in martial arts. She paused, her eyes flashing with determination. As for me, I am a formation genius. Securing 25 points in the formation stage will be a simple task. With our combined efforts, we shall reach at least 85 points in total. The first place last time only had 85 points, so we have a strong chance of taking first place, Yin Hong said, brimming with confidence. Ling Han shrugged nonchalantly. Lady Yin, this is all mere wishful thinking. I do not recall agreeing to any such arrangement. Yin Hong pretended to be surprised. You mean to say, even though you have the chance to fight alongside a woman of unparalleled beauty like Sister Zhu, you are unwilling? She teased. Ling Han merely laughed, offering no further response. Sly little fox. Yin Hong exclaimed as she raised her hands in mock surrender. Well then, what requests do you have? We of the Spirit Treasures Pavilion have money and treasures aplenty. As long as it does not exceed our limits, I can grant your desires. Ling Han waved his hand dismissively. No need for gifts. There is a spirit grass I desire, and it would be ideal if you could acquire it by the end of the year. I can provide origin crystals to pay for it. Yin Hong clapped her hands in delight. As expected of an earth-grade alchemist, rich and imposing, not even trying to take advantage of me despite such a generous offer. Zhu Xuan'er remained composed, unaffected by Yin Hong's teasing, her demeanor like that of a celestial being untouched by earthly desires. Yin Hong's curiosity piqued. She leaned forward. What spirit grass does young Master Ling seek? The 9-leaf black Ganoderma, Ling Han replied. It is a 7th-tier spirit grass. Surely, that should not be beyond the capabilities of the Spirit Treasures Pavilion, correct? Yin Hong's face twitched, her voice filled with exaggerated disbelief. You ask for the 9-leaf black Ganoderma? A 7th-tier spirit grass? Even spiritual infant-tier cultivators would covet it. Our strongest warriors in the north are only in the spiritual infant tier. How dare you ask for something so precious? Ling Han shrugged, unperturbed. Even if it is difficult, that is your problem, Lady Yin. I have set forth my request. If you can acquire the 9-leaf black Ganoderma, I will participate in the battle for the Spirit Treasures Pavilion. I can be flexible. It need not be fully matured, but I would prefer it to be alive. Yin Hong stared at him, her mind racing with thoughts. Could Ling Han have a method to accelerate the growth of spirit grass? From the 6th tier onward, such plants surpass the capabilities of mortals, and nurturing them in a normal garden was out of the question. Keeping them alive was already a challenge, let alone hastening their growth. She quickly dismissed the notion, realizing it was unlikely. Very well, I will take care of this matter. But even if I can procure it, the 9-leaf black Ganoderma is of immense value. I trust you understand the price? Ling Han smiled. No matter. If need be, I can always refine more medicinal pills. Yin Hong fell silent. Alchemists were the wealthiest group in the world, and those who excelled at pill-making had the power to amass unimaginable fortunes. A single batch of refined pills could yield 10 times the profit, and with the vast number of martial artists, there would be no shortage of buyers. Since everything is settled, let us drink, Yin Hong said boldly, her carefree nature shining through once more. The 4 of them began to eat. Hu Niu, ever the discerning one, found the food unappetizing and quickly took out dried meats from her spatial ring. The aroma wafted through the air, and immediately Yin Hong's gaze locked onto the delicacy, her mouth watering. Even Zhu Xuan'er, usually so composed, couldn't suppress a faint swallow. Pretty little girl, give sister a piece, Yin Hong said unabashedly. Hu Niu glared at her, unwilling to share. The food was her treasure. Ling Han laughed loudly. Nu, don't be stingy. Give the 2 sisters a taste. Reluctantly, Hu Niu handed over 2 small pieces. Notably, the one given to Zhu Xuan'er was much smaller, a clear indication of her displeasure. Yin Hong, undeterred, immediately devoured the dried meat. The moment the flavors hit her tongue, she trembled with delight, her body shaking with satisfaction. The dried meat, harvested from beasts raised within the Black Tower, was no ordinary snack. It was rich in nutrients, benefiting martial artists greatly. The beasts consumed 100-year-old ginseng and Ganoderma, making the meat not only fresh, but exceptionally nourishing. Young Master Ling, how much do you sell this meat for? Name your price, and I will even sell my body, Yin Hong joked.